Chris Tinkle, Vic Garcia. It is Tinkle and Vic time here.
Dun, 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 dun.
You're ready to rock and roll, man. Are you getting ready? How's Christmas looking for you?
Nah, it's good, dude. It's good. It's cool. I got my partner. I love saying partner now because it's like it sounds way older than like girlfriend, and it's also like a mystery. Like, oh, is he?
Oh, yeah.
Is he? It's like it's my partner. It's so ambiguous, dude. I love it.
But
my partner Henry, no. So my partner and I, she got me the Jim Cornette graphic novel for Christmas, and he autographed it. And then she knew what to put on there, and he wrote, "Thank you, F you, bye." I was like, "What a great partner! What a
great partner! You living in your no, I don't want to say the woke thing because that's like a trigger word for some people. No, I like to go to the.
I'm not
like
worried
to
about
go to
being canceled. I'm more worried about people just waking up one day and think I'm not funny.
People get like now you have to be in camps. People get like there are trigger words, and I'm talking both sides, everybody. And it's like let's all relax a little bit, everyone. So we're just talking about wrestling. There's nothing crazy about wrestling, okay?
Well,
I mean,
like
it
some
is,
people, like the only thing they'd have going for them is if they got canceled. So I can see why some people are like that. Like, oh, I just said poo poo, someone's gonna cancel me. Like, it's like, woohoo! Look at all the. I don't know. I don't really give a shit.
I just want to have some fun.
Wrestling.
What was I going to tell you that there was a? I've decided that Prince Nana, who by the way randomly came back, was like out of the scene forever.
By the way,
randomly
dude
came
has
back.
Never got a proper introduction like everyone else in that goddamn show. And dude, slowly based on his elbows to fist ratio is what's getting him over, dude. And then when Swerve did it the other day, that was sick, dude.
Yeah, that was really sick. We're gonna get into that, but I think you're right. He didn't get like this proper intro. He got brought in to replace Tully Blanchard.
Yep.
We still don't know why Tully Blanchard stopped working with AEW.
I think I read a thing that a lot of the problem with those older dudes is like the idea of like a manager doesn't work unless the guy can or lady can take bumps. Cause that's like the whole point. So if it's like, those two older dudes, like they can't bump. So then you're just on, you can't say like they can't cheat because you can't get back at them. You can't even like snatch them once. So I think that's one of the things. And also, I don't think people don't listen to them, dude.
I think we're starting out hot. People. They listen to Arn Anderson, that Glock,
oh my God.
Comment. That Glock, good or bad, which I thought it was great. Good or bad, got a lot of coverage, got a lot better. And
because it came out of left field.
It did. But I liked it because it was like the old school telling, like the new school, like, learn to, Arn Anderson is the damn enforcer.
Yeah.
You listen to Arn Anderson. I don't give a damn if you're Cody Rhodes. I understand why they had to hire all these old people. Tully, again, misutilizing Tully. They should let him cut a promo, do a thing. And instead,
they never let him talk, dude.
And they didn't let him talk, and they made him wrestle. And I think he had some regrets about that. He was like, I really wish they didn't see me like wrestle at an old age.
Yeah, it's like he did one thing when he did one like thing in the ring and he messed up kind of bad and it looked kind of awful. And I think it was with CM Punk. I think CM Punk like covered him, but it was pretty bad. And he's probably embarrassed, dude.
They talked him into doing that. You know that because I got the impression they talked him into doing that. And it wasn't a necessary thing. Yet Tully didn't have his go around after the cocaine thing and leaving the WWE or WWF back then. But let him go. The worst thing I see is Jake Roberts, who we all rooted for when Diamond Dallas Page got him better. But to see him come out now out of shape again, dealing with a lot of health problems, and what do they do with him? Remember, he was supposed to start an army, and it was like the Righteous joined him and the Murder Hawk. Who hasn't really taken off, by the way.
That's not his fault, dude.
No.
First of all, he's a guy that I feel if they had a like producer who was like who didn't go, okay, so what do you feel like doing tonight? Like someone who's going to be like, dude, you can do this tonight. Like, I think he's one of those guys that if he went to WWE, I think he'd like be fine. They'd probably help him out. He does some like dumb stuff. Like he does some dumb high flyer shit for someone who's that big. And I know it's because you can do it. I don't think you should do it. It's kind of like, or like pull out every now and then, but he would do that one top rope moonsault like every episode. I don't know. Just like,
you
it's
know,
not special.
we already have the Murder Hawk in WWE. His name is Damian Priest.
Amen, brother.
And
All they do have the
we
same
already have
hair and all that. That's funny, dude.
Yeah, I'm just being honest.
Oh my god! They have the same outfit and the same like moveset, dude.
That's a guy who I don't know the right word. Turmoiled. What's the word? He was in TNA and he just kind of was around, reinvented himself.
Dude, I like how you just say TNA, the first word that comes is like turmoil. Yeah. You're like turmoil. You know, he was in TNA. What like awful? Can't leave, stuck in a contract.
This is before he got the Jesus crosses re-tattooed on his lower back to cover
That's
that
interesting
tattoo.
Yeah, he did have a straight up tramp stamp on his back, and
he still does, but now they're Jesus crosses and they look a little better than what they had before.
It's like a graveyard, though, right? It's a graveyard with the crosses coming out. It's a graveyard.
I'm not super. I mean, I believe in God and everything, but I'm not super like religious. But I believe those are the three crosses with the guys. Because remember, it was Jesus and he had two dudes that went down with him, two criminals.
Oh, interesting.
So that's like a scene, you know, that it was three crosses. So that's what I'm seeing when I see it.
That's even weirder that you're gonna cover that weird tramp stamp up with like some bona fide Bible stuff, dude.
He's religious.
That's so weird. He's
weird. Like, I made this mistake. He should have went and just had it taken off, but they never really. There's still like always the shadow of it on there. So I guess once they take stuff off, you really have to kind of. It's a reset. Why does Kat Von D have two giant?
It's like
black
a lot of
arms
money,
now?
right? I think you can only do it if you're like super rich or like every now and then.
Every now and then, I don't know.
They'll have those like scholarship things where like if you're like a former gangbanger with face tattoos, you get to have the surgery to like get back on the job force. But that's only happened like twice, I think.
I believe it was on Rampage, Edge. Because remember we talked about how it was not on the next Dynamite at all after the that matchup. So on this week's Rampage, I believe, or the past one, Edge did a on-camera promo, you know, prepackaged, and he challenged Christian to like I guess it's a no holds barred match at World's End. And so this yesterday,
dude, we watched two fucking 50-year-old best friends fake kill each other, dude.
And then I know, and by the way, again, the no holds barred match has been way overdone.
It has been prostituted, and that's the nicest way I can say it.
Every which way. One sec. Let's pause for a sec. Thank you. They have what you said about them prostituting the no holds barred is 100% dead on, because I just can't believe myself when they show this stuff, and the stuff they do has been so disgusting. And then they tried the Japanese deathmatch thing, which did not work out. Yeah. And I'm just really over. I just think they need to take a break from it.
I think you can't follow a grown man drinking another dude's blood just for like a bit. You kind of have to like you got to pull back because like what is next, dude? And I don't want to know it. I don't want to see it.
When was that pay-per-view? That last one when they did that?
That was November, right?
So you're gonna go
like Full Gear, yeah. So that's
you don't have to do that many. Like it's not the territories. The reason they used to do that in the territories is because it was every singular market.
Yeah.
Everybody saw that stuff. You could take a break. And they do it with the women's stuff, and I'm tired of it.
Dude, they did it on Ring of Honor the other night. I watched this match out of respect for these two dudes that they were having this I quit like blow off feud. Nice and Ethan Page. They had I quit. It was in the middle of the card or second on the card, and like no one gave a shit. and they were killing each other, dude. For
Tony
what?
Tony Nese's back looked awful. I saw the promo they did afterwards of his, and they showed his back, and it was
Dude,
just terrible.
they put it, they like really, really brought it, dude. Like it's like one of those things like, oh, like we're gonna steal the show, but it's like no one's gonna see it. So it's like,
So then to follow up, then Christian on Dynamite last night, before we get into the rest of Dynamite, which I have a surprising take on it. Um, Tony Schiavone read a statement from like Christian
from
saying that he
last
would,
night, right? This is
yeah,
AEW Dynamite Wednesday the 20th.
yes.
Right. Okay.
They had Tony Schiavone read like the statement from Christian
Yeah.
and
It
and
was,
say he was going to address it the next week.
yeah, that was kind of a funny thing, but
They
needs
killed
something
that. They've
else.
killed that
Yeah.
feud already, which I don't think was working 100%. But
I
I
mean, if
mean,
it wasn't working, it's just because like they didn't let them.
I think they killed it with the finish, which we discussed earlier, and
Oh yeah. Ugh.
I really don't like. And then we talked about it in the last episode. The fact that they don't have a follow up, they don't have one of those people show up. You know what Ed should have done was show up in person and be pissed off about it. What's the deal? But I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what contracts they have with people. It doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense.
Well,
So
all those guys were there because they wanted. I mean, on top of getting paid insane money, they all kind of want to be there too. So you figure Edge is probably like, he's probably ready to go. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure he like doesn't understand why he's not on TV either. But Edge is one of those dudes who's not gonna go on social media and be like, this is not fair. I sat in last night in the back in catering. Like he's not gonna be one of those dudes. So like him and Daniel Bryan, all those guys are just gonna. It's why they get used bad is because they don't like stand up for themselves. And I think they're like, oh, like whatever is like good for the team, but it's like kind of
I
have to be
thought
assertive.
here's a surprising thing. I thought last night's AEW, which is Wednesday night, AEW was pretty damn good. As I actually like the opener, the Swerve Roosh match for some reason that worked way
Yeah,
better. They had a
I got
very
a hard time with Roosh, dude. Roosh is one of those dudes who like if he doesn't have anyone telling him to not, he
he had
doesn't have
one moment where
anyone.
he kicked out at a one. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. That well, he does. So he doesn't have anyone in his ear saying, "Hey, dude, it's not your turn right now. It will be your turn, but in the meantime, can you not kick out at one? And can you not just pop up when someone chokes you out because you want to say what, you know? He does like old school. That's like old school ways of like keeping your heat. You know, like kick out at like 3.5 or like don't sell anything. Like
Yeah.
he does that a lot.
Well, I want to give a lot of positivity to AEW this week so people don't think I'm always being negative on this. But I think probably a lot of the reason, these people like Roosh do that type of stuff and everything is, again, I think they've promised all these people
Yep.
they've got something coming, but
Yep.
you can't do it. And by the way, I read this on Cage Side, which is I don't know, Cage Side Seats.
Net,
I don't know if
right?
you I don't know if it's .net. I think it's .com. Cage Side is anyway, they have a new tally. He introduced Tony Khan introduced a women's TV Ring of Honor championship.
I heard, dude, Ring of Honor's not on TV.
I know. So
it's on streaming.
It's technically on AEW a little bit, but so anyway, that puts the tally up if you count the FTW belt, which I do, at 15 belts.
Jesus Christ, dude.
15 belts. Think about that. That is insane. That's their tally. I haven't ran through the list, so if anybody wants to complain,
and it's only been 3 or 4 years.
That's it. 15 belts. And I know, well, look, some of these are ROH and everything. No, they're not separated, so it's hard to justify because all this stuff is on one TV program, really, or two, depending, three. But one organization has 3 belts that are consistently ran through it. 15 belts is what I mean to say on 3 shows. It's damn confusing.
Dude, if they had like one of those like Night of Champions pay-per-view, it would be like a 72-hour extravaganza.
Remember flashback to when WWE got into an anti-belt situation and they combined the hardcore, the intercontinental, and the world heavyweight title. Remember that?
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did. They folded the intercontinental title, which was a big deal, into the main title, and they only had the world heavyweight and the tag titles for a little bit in the era. Because this is Rob Van Dam was involved in this, and Tommy Dreamer during that time when they were both in WWE. But they all lost the belts kind of to each other, and then they folded into the world heavyweight, and people were kind of pissed off about that.
Wow.
And we only had really, I think we had a Raw and a SmackDown champion, and I might even be remembering this wrong. We might have only had the world champion and the tag belts at one point. But that's when, and we're sitting here with this guy who's trying to create the American Triple Crown with a New Japan belt, and he's putting out yet another one. And then I don't even think they count the Bret Hart tournament. I mean,
oh yeah, they get a belt for that too. Oh my god, dude.
Well, let's go to WWE. They got 2 sets of women's tag belt. No, they got 1 set now because they combined them.
Yep.
They finally were like, nah, NXT doesn't need a women's tag division belt. So they got the NXT women's tag. They've got the men's tag, which is technically 2, so let's give it 2. They've got the United States, the Intercontinental Championship, both World Championships.
And
they've got the NXT champion and the NXT Women's Championship, and then 2 women's championships.
And the NXT North American and the WWE 24/7.
So look, and you call me hypocritical. They've got about 15 belts too. But to be honest with you, they have.
Yeah, but they have 2 separate shows.
Right. 2 separate shows, 3 separate programs.
Yes.
And most of those don't go over and fold over. And so I don't know. Because ROH is in like a weird spot.
Yeah.
With their,
you know what I wonder? What? If like how we would do if we had a dad who was like a billionaire who was like, hey, I'm gonna die, but I want to see you waste this money in front of me. So I'm going to give you the 100 million now. I wonder how Tony Khan is doing on that level. Like how many, like where he, out of 100 dudes, where he would place, where his business is. Because I don't know if he's good at it, but I wonder if I would be good at it too. I mean, I wonder if I would also be like, oh, I got to smoke weed with Jericho, like, or like, oh, what's his name said I had a good, I'm funny. Like you can tell that's how he is. He drinks like White Claw. There was that story that Swole, who Big Swole, who's one of the worst professional wrestlers ever, and I think now she's not wrestling, but she had that quote where when she got cut, and she was like, "I thought we were buddies. He smoked my weed." It was like, so he has this like friend, he like hangs, he's like everyone's buddy, and then he just blows people off when he doesn't. I don't know if you knew that, but a bunch of people said like, you can't get him on the phone. If you're not in his circle, you can't get him on the phone. So like people don't know they're cut. They just don't get a contract again. Like he'll just blow you off like you're some chick from OK Cupid he's not into anymore.
He's like Louis J. Gomez. I'm kidding, Louis. Okay, I like to pick on Louis. I don't know. I think I'd be professional enough. I'd have to bring the hammer down. Look, if it's money,
Yeah, see.
The first thing I do something stupid, but I'd like create my own belt for myself. And then
look, Vic, see, that's where it starts, dude. You're like, oh, they have 15 belts. You're like, wait a minute, I'm giving out a imaginary $100 million. I'm gonna do the first thing that you did was make your own belt. Yeah. It would be hard. It would be hard not to.
I make belt for I make a belt for you. I make a belt for Dan. I make a belt for my mom. I'd give her a belt. I'd give her the Vic's I'm sorry belt for making you mad about the
you have a Vic I'm sorry belt, and you give it to someone at the end of every episode. Dude, I'm the 9-time I'm sorry champ. Like he shit on me 9 times.
Look, I'm a man of extremes, so I gotta stay on the straight and narrow, because if I went on the other side, I'd also have the Hoochie belt, and I'd be like, hey, you want to win the Hoochie championship? And then I'd be in trouble. Because automatically I'd also be doing a lot of cocaine, probably. I have an addictive personality in that sense, so that's why
That's what I'm saying. I think this kid is doing as good as he could, dude. I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know if I would do much better, dude.
You know, you're right, because
hasn't
I've
got
been I've been a poor kid. You've been a poor person. You know,
yeah.
we might still be poor people. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for you, but um, I'm speaking for myself. But
I am rich in love and friendships.
you're rich. You got rich in partners. Again, I think you should go with the dude and call her your lady friend. From
My
like the Big Lebowski, my lady friend.
my lady friend.
This is my lady friend.
Yeah,
My
right. It's either like lady friend or partner. It's either, so I'm gonna go rob a bank or I got a lady friend. It sounds like I just keep her in the car all the time.
that's my lady friend over there. No, I think
Dude,
lady friend is classy.
when I was in high school, I had the best joke ever. I would go rent movies and the guy would ask me if I wanted a bag and I'd be like, "Oh no, thanks man, she's in the car." And only one
So bad. So bad.
dude, once it only worked once and I remember it. It's like 30 years ago and I remember it killed and it only worked once. It was like I just caught the dude on the right day. And I just remember I was like funniest dude in Hollywood video. Yeah.
Kenny Omega was a big story though too as well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So Kenny Omega is injured. He's got a diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis.
Yeah, he's got that thing.
Which was
As I
once
call it,
synonymous with Brock Lesnar.
DV is what I call it.
DV.
Yeah, so
Not VD, DV.
what do you think about Kenny Omega, dude? Dude, he may not be able to come back, dude, because his style, he's like, it's kind of interesting because it's like, instead of like, oh man, he's gonna be feeling that when he's 45. It's like, no, dude, he's feeling it right now.
Yeah.
Like his style, he's feeling it right now. You cannot
Well,
do that night in, night out, dude.
Have we
I
heard
think
what caused it?
no, but I think he's just I think he came back too early and I guess he's just beat the shit, dude. Like he shouldn't have came back when he did. And like, I mean,
Well,
it's just like he's not gonna not wrestle that style. And it's not like he's not a great talker, so he's not gonna talk people. I mean, we saw him bomb last week on Dynamite. So it's like so I wonder what he's gonna do. He can't like his style. Like the thing that gets him over is his crazy aggressive style, which he's not going to be able to do. He can't, dude. It's like he's breaking down. It's like
right.
Will Ospreay, dude. You ever hear that episode of Stone Cold's podcast? Ospreay was on there, and Stone Cold gave Ospreay like a little pep talk, dude, because Ospreay was like limping and shit. And he was like 25, and Austin was like, dude, what are you like? Slow down, dude.
Yeah. Those guys go too crazy, and Kenny has to. And I'm going to be honest with you, his last 2 years have been pretty great. I don't think they've been that awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just hurt, dude. I think he's hurt, and he probably like.
You know, here's the problem with the diverticulitis is that these guys don't go when they're not feeling well to the doctor, and usually you try to tough it out. But you know, personally, and this goes back to when I had COVID, a few times, but the first time, I remember I just went a week and I was like, I don't feel good. Something's weird. But these guys don't have that. They never feel good. But here's what can trigger a diverticulitis attack. Eating red meat regularly, not including enough fiber in the diet, smoking, being overweight, and aging.
Yeah, they also, when Brock Lesnar had it, they called it the meat and potatoes.
Diverticulitis, because that's not good for you.
Yeah, because like you don't have enough greens. If you just eat steak and taters all the time with no greens, I guess that's one of the ways it can happen.
I'll have to lecture my mother about taking in all the red meat. When she's around, I have to eat everything's red meat, man. I'm starting to get that way. Did you know, by the way, weird medical thing that I found out takes God, dang it, I forgot this thing, the exact details. It takes, I think, up to 6 days to process and for your stomach to process red meat. Chicken, it takes like 6 hours or less. I think it's like 2 to 3 hours actually to go through chicken. And so that's apparently for fish and red meat. And this, folks, we're trying to keep you healthy.
Well, according
that's not
to
a good sign that it takes a long time to process this stuff,
well, let me give a shout out to my old housemate, my old roommate, John Fitch Smash, I believe. He's he has a whole he charges people money for his diet info and all stuff. So when he said one of the cool things that you could do with red meat is eating it ground hamburger. Grounding it up is like the best way that you could possibly, because it's like broken down already and it goes as fast as it could. And like no one really knows that kind of stuff, but that's one of the things he told me.
Yeah.
So whatever I eat, like red meat, I make sure it's like ground up.
How many times a week do you have red meat?
Hamburger, like maybe 2-3 times, maybe. I eat a lot of chicken though.
You eat a lot of. You don't have steak every once in a while. Hot roast
every now and then. Yeah. Probably like once every 2 weeks that, and then like hamburger like once every 4 or 5 days. I have the air fryer, dude, so I make everything in that thing.
I'm just curious about that. But Brock Lesnar, I guess that was the thought of the cause, is that the red meat was what did it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that kind of, I mean, I don't know. It's not aging. I mean, how old is Kenny?
38.
He's not overweight. Does he smoke?
No.
Either
I imagine he's on supplements. Also, you know what's really funny? I was thinking about this the other day. I wonder if they secretly give Kenny Omega shit because he's the only one in that group who's clearly on supplements. Him and Trent, maybe. But I wonder if like the Bucks and all them like secretly talk behind his back, like, he's on the supplements.
I don't know, man. The young Bucks.
He is, dude.
Look, I'm going to tell you this.
They're not on it.
I don't think those guys have just gone downhill since Cody left.
Dude, wait till they come back with their new heel thing, dude, and no one's going to give a shit, dude.
You don't think I don't think people
they're come back in a faction with like I guess apparently they're gonna come back as like a heel faction with Cole Cabana in there.
Is that true? Is that what you're reading?
That was one of the things that people were saying. Yeah, like they're gonna, like they did all these trademarks, and they're gonna come back as a heel group. And Colt was one of the names that they were throwing out.
But Cole Cabana, and this is not a disrespectful thing, I think he kind of half admits it. He's basically a cartoon wrestler.
Yeah, I think he's just happy to be in the background on Dark, dude.
Well, Dark doesn't exist. What's he been doing? Ring of Honor? Look, anyway, look, I feel like we're slowing down to a halt, but I want to get this going here. This is, again, I wanted to be positive about AEW today, but that faction that brought this whole organization in, the faction that was red hot at one point, they are no longer red hot. Cody has got all of it. Kenny has just petered out, and that's a crazy thing that Don Callis and his people, what they're moving on with all this stuff. Jericho is not. Where's Jericho at? The Big Show, that was another thing. Ring of Honor, Mark Henry showed up, and it's like, who cares? Who cares?
Well, I mean, once again, dude, it's another manager who can't take a bump, dude. It'd be cool to having him hang out with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. I'm okay for it, but like he can't do anything.
There was talk at one point that he was going to do a couple more matches, I heard, but who's clamoring for that stuff?
No one is. No one.
People weren't clamoring for it at the end. When he did that heel turn on John Cena, was probably
the most great, dude. He got. That was so great. He should have won like an Emmy for that.
Yeah.
That was so great.
They've reached their mountain. I don't know. I want to see where the future goes. Clearly, it's with Swerve. Swerve right now has got the juice, and shout out to Prince Nana, because
he's old, dude.
He's got that dance down. Again, that's such a weird thing. How old is Prince Nana? Why do we keep asking these questions? Why do I want to know?
I think he's over 50. And he used to wrestle, dude. He used to be. He was like a butterball. He's 44. Okay.
Yeah, he had a.
He lost a lot of weight, dude. He was like a butterball.
He was trained by Devon and Johnny Rods. Did you know that?
No.
Vito Lagrasso and Angel Medina. That's a lot of names there.
Can we circle back to Dynamite so I can talk shit about this Soraya and Riho match?
Yes.
Dude,
By the way, Tony Storm, real quick, because I want to get this out of the way. Tony Storm, amazing on commentary again.
killed it on commentary, dude.
My favorite thing that she told, she said, she goes in and talks to Taz, and she goes, Taz, oh, you're my favorite landlord. I hear they call you the human duplex machine.
Yeah, that was great, dude.
So stupid.
And like it was so stupid, and like he did, like you could tell that it kind of made him smile.
Yeah.
But he also it was dumb, so you can't like sell it like it's really funny. But yeah, you could tell that he was like it kind of like took him aback. Dude, she was killing.
She was killing. And then Excalibur, she's like, Excalibur, I understand you've pulled a few swords in your day. Like
Yeah,
that is
dude.
just
She did great.
She's killing it. She's killing it.
And meanwhile, in the ring, Soraya, she's so famous that she had her own movie based on her life. And they just never have her on TV. And then all of a sudden she had a match. And it was so weird, dude. Like, she's like a new kind of heel where you're only a heel because they don't want to like cheer you. Because Soraya's whole thing is she's kind of a upfront. See, you know what I mean? She's kind of it's like her character. So it was really weird watching her because I'm like, oh, they're gonna have Riho go over, but I'm like, dude, this is the best. Not in terms of ring work, but that was the best. Like Soraya, you could tell she's a pro. You could tell that she went through the whole system in NXT. She carried that whole match and made you like. She was a great heel. She beat her up, and then it was like over. I don't know. By the way, is it really funny how implants make you look like so much bigger? She wrestled like she was Andre the Giant, dude.
Wow.
And she's not that big. She's like smaller than most people.
Again, by the way, we spent earlier criticizing male bodies. I'm going to criticize one female body here. And the reason I'm going to do it, and I shouldn't, but because I'm going to get in trouble, but she is so modified from what she began as.
Yes.
And she's also so injured still, even though she's been cleared. You could just tell she doesn't have like the flow to her body that she used to.
Yeah, which is why she does a lot of which is why she does a lot of like character stuff. She's yelling at the audience, she has like little things that she does. I mean,
and she's
a great heel, but she's a good heel. But
her midsection just she has this weird look to her, and I think it's more because of the injury, not because she's oddish. But she's not in the shape she was in, and I don't think she can ever be because of the injury. And I just
she probably shouldn't wrestle, dude.
She probably shouldn't wrestle. A lot of these people shouldn't wrestle or even be managers like Jake the Snake Roberts and them. Those people, Jake the Snake Roberts out there, and I'm like, someone should just be near him just in case he just slips and falls. I mean, something's going to happen to him. I worry about him. Very gingerly. They're not structurally sound, these people anymore. And then going to Riho, my God, I'm talking about uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable watching her because she looks like a slightly bigger than average child.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm saying. Dude, Soraya looked humongous, and she was like wrestling like a big size. Like she like made herself bigger, and she was like beating her up. And it was like, but Paige Soraya's not that big. So it's like, how small is that?
What do they call it? Joshi or whatever? But I'm over. At least Hikaru Shida doesn't have this problem, but
like Riho has no story. I wouldn't see like I could see like a 10-year-old girl like liking Kairi Sane and liking Asuka because they have a bunch of like bells and whistles and they're just different and it's cool. And like I don't think the same kid would be watching Riho and be like, which you should if you're little. And you see someone also little, that's kind of like what you're drawn to. Like, I mean, everyone wanted like the 1, 2, 3 kid to win because he was the smallest. But it was like,
I feel like
But
it's
they don't
too
even have
small.
that, dude. Like no one gets behind her because it's so far fetched, man.
Did you read the story about Sasha Banks, aka Monet, whatever? What's her name? What's her new name?
Monique Monet.
I think it is something like that. Monique Monet.
Such
Um,
a poor name, dude.
AEW apparently isn't going to be do anything with her. Um,
She's smart.
there's rumors that conflicting reports that she's supposed to go to WWE, but most people say nope, we haven't heard that. But there's rumors that she wants to be paid what Charlotte Flair, more than Charlotte Flair is getting paid now, and which is an exorbitant amount of money. But she hasn't. The irony is her and Trinity left, and at least Trinity's been wrestling over there in TNA, but Monet, or I'll just call her Sasha Banks. It's driving me crazy with the other name. Sasha Banks hasn't done anything. She had one kind of short run. She's
And
been
she got
looking
hurt.
bad. Yeah, she got hurt, and then she was supposed to win. They created that New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Open Weight Women's title for her, and they ended up having to have Willow win it because she got hurt. So, you know,
I mean,
and to
dude,
be
she
honest,
is like parlayed extra work in the Mandalorian. She, she she's barely in it, and that's like one of the things I think. I think
she was. I think
she's
she 2 episodes, didn't she?
yeah, I think she's kind of pricing herself out. I think she thinks pretty highly of herself, dude. And
I don't see her acting career going into like a crazy direction. Has she done
no, she wore a
anything?
mask half the time on the screen, dude.
Yeah, she had like one.
But then again, if I'm on action figure in Star Wars, I'd probably be a dick, dude. Even if I didn't want to be, I'd probably be like,
What other wrestlers have been on Star Wars? Anybody?
oh, I don't know. Maybe that guy Kurgan has maybe been like draped in like special effects or something because he's so big. I'm sure he's done something like a
Yeah.
random like Wookiee or something.
She's supposed to be in some movie called The Collective.
Who's in that? What is it?
It's it's a movie that came out last year or this year, apparently. Uh Lucas Till, Ruby Rose,
Oh,
Tyrese Gibson, and
oh
Don Johnson.
God,
All people that are like past it. Remember when Ruby Rose
dude!
was a
All
thing?
friend hires, dude. They're all friend hires. All those
Ruby
people.
Ruby Rose was supposed to be this hot thing. She was the lesbian Batwoman, and then she
Until
didn't last
she,
one season. I think she
nah, you
barely.
know why?
Why?
Because she couldn't act like she was in pain if she caught on fire, dude. I think she has a great look, and I think that like gets her cast and stuff. But yeah, I think the chops are lacking. Maybe I don't know. I don't want to be. She did great as a deaf person who barely talked and who fought in John Wick. So she can
So
keep doing that.
so she did that. She was on Barmageddon.
She was in some movie I saw that they barely let her talk, dude. Because she's like good. She's like good. She's like she has a cool look, so she was cool in a scene. But she was. Oh, she was in that. Oh yeah, that's what it was, dude. Meg 2,
Who
The
was in Meg
Trench.
2?
I believe she was.
It's not on
Right?
her. It's not on
It's
her
not.
thing.
She was in some kind of monster movie. She was in some kind of. She was something I just saw that was like. What was the last couple of things that she did? This is gonna drive me fucking nuts, dude. I'm gonna take this show down with me right now.
Wikipedia doesn't have much. The last couple things it has on here is Barmageddon and WWE Evil and The Collective.
Oh no. I was talking about Ruby Rose, dude.
Oh, Ruby Rose. Okay, yeah. Let's see.
She was the
Ruby
one I
Rose.
was saying was in the Meg Part 2.
I think you're
And
trying to say that she's going to be. She should be in AEW.
no. I was saying that she was in the Meg 2 and she was a scientist, and that was a stretch.
I didn't know she was Australian. Did you know?
No.
She came out as a lesbian at the age of 12.
Oh, good for
She was in.
yeah. Okay. So
Wait,
did I. So did I.
the Meg 2. No, I don't. She was in Dirty Angel. She's gonna be in Dirty Angel, Taurus, Stowaway,
Came out
One
a
Up.
lesbian. She was 12. Dude, if you're a parent, never mind.
She was in the Meg 1. She was in the Meg 1.
Meg 1. Okay, Meg 1.
Man, her filmography is terrible. Resident Evil Final Chapter, Triple X The Return of Xander Cage, John Wick Chapter 2, Pitch Perfect 3, The Meg.
Dude, have you noticed like she does she does really well when she doesn't talk and there's a lot of stuff going on behind her. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, she was the doorman. Red Notice, SAS Red Notice. What's that? SAS Red Notice. I don't even know. It's a British movie. Vanquish with Morgan Freeman in 2020. Poor Morgan Freeman.
All right.
Morgan Freeman and what's his name? Bruce Willis. They had these runs of these movies. Even Mel Gibson.
So I don't know if you know this, but there's like a few of those guys that if you can come up with $6 million, and I think it's like $2 million a day, I think is Bruce Willis's quote, and you need to get him for 3 days. So that's why you see all these movies where they would only have 3 days with him. And then they try to edit him in stuff. So you knew that Bruce Willis was in the movie, but in not very deft hands, it looks like they just threw Bruce, like it looks like he just showed up and they threw him on camera and he doesn't really know what's going on, which is kind of what happened. But yeah, and also John Cusack also does that. Also, I don't know if you know this, I'm working on a bit about it. We won't do it. But John Cusack, when he does those movies, he wears a black bandana or a black hat. Have you noticed it? Yeah. If you see him in a black hat or a black bandana, phone it in, paycheck, dude. But when he when he doesn't have it, he's going to try. So whenever I see him not wear the black, but he was in this Western where he was really good and he wore all black. So I was kind of blown away that it was actually, I was like, this is the one good black hat John Cusack movie. He had one. Oh, he wears that do-rag, that black do-rag. It means he's not going to try, dude. I'm telling you.
Like, you know who was my favorite person that ever wore a do-rag was Vince McMahon. Remember do-rag Vince McMahon?
Oh, yeah.
One day
I'm going to start doing that on this show, Vic. All of a sudden we're going to start. I'm just going to have a do-rag on one Thursday. You're going to be like, oh, you're phoning it in, huh?
Do-rag Tinkle.
Sup, bro? It's just me being like, yeah, I'm kind of over wrestling.
When we go full on video and we do episode 6, we should do a do-rag version of the show. I'm gonna go.
We'll get in so much trouble. People, dude, no one's gonna hear why we're doing it. They're just gonna see a white dude at our match wearing do-rags and not. Dude, we'll get in trouble, dude.
Because we're hardcore. That's why he did it. Because he was an ECW champion when he wore do-rag.
Bro, first of all, I'm sorry I called you bro. Oh, yeah. Like Vince Russo style.
Bro.
I just imagine me going in to buy a do-rag, and I thought how awkward that would be and how bad I would feel if there was a person of color behind the thing, and I was like, one do-rag, please. Or
look, they're you're trying to get some waves in those hairs. So that's what you're trying to do. Look, I grew up with black guys, so I know I can dress black if I need to. It won't be controversial.
Is there?
I wouldn't, by the way, but I'm wearing do-rag.
Do you think that there's any like wrestlers who like have their like black do-rag thing where they have like a certain outfit that like that's the outfit that they always like lose in and they don't give a shit about and they wear their special outfit when they win? Or I wonder. I
think it's more for like the bigger shows. That's it.
Yeah.
Like
but dude, if I was gonna job out, I wouldn't iron my shit. Like, if I was gonna job and then they're like, I was like, if I'm gonna win, I'll get like dry cleaning. But
look, at this point where we would be in our careers, if we're just gonna make the card for the pay-per-view, I'm gonna go full on Dusty Magnum TA, man. You and I, we're gonna walk out there and we're gonna wear the fur coats and everything, and we're gonna, I'm saying we go out with tights and everything. We should wear British Bulldog, not British Bulldog, the old school Heart Foundation gear.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
That's what I would do.
Do you have any parting thoughts on AEW? I was gonna say that. Oh, dude! So what do you think of the Swerve and MJF little scene? Because that was like, because they've been separated. So it was kind of cool that they actually, and it wasn't bad. I mean, those are awkward because it's awkward. No one talks like that in like real life, but they did a pretty good job. And I think Swerve did a pretty good job. It kind of made me excited to see the match, dude. I kind of want to see it now.
I thought a lot of people were felt that way, and they were kind of like, what's this devil stuff? Let's get into this Swerve thing. I liked that he went up and got Nana. Like we were talking about that earlier. What you wanted to touch upon was the fact that what did he say about Nana after MJF went and grabbed him?
Nana said something about, oh yeah, I got to talk to you about something that happened on Saturday or like Collision or something. So there's like maybe he's the devil after all. What if it's like, I think it's like a bunch of different devils, which is a total cop out. But they're gonna to do that scream thing where they wrote himself into a corner, and now then I have 3 bad guys because it doesn't make sense.
I don't think I think it's going to be a dud. No, but there was something else. What did he say about Swerve say when he's about not? He's like, "Don't touch my property" or something like that. It was
he called him his property.
I don't know why I like that added to the character.
I like that, and then also later on, I was really creeped out with Samoa Joe and MJF because Samoa Joe kind of called MJF his property too, sort of. But dude, the way he talks to him, he like talks to him like one of his hoes. It's kind of unnerving, dude. Like,
no, he's called him my associate, but
but he grabbed, it's like one of his little hoes, dude, and that's how he's playing it like that, and it's really creepy, dude. I was really creeped out.
You still think it's Adam Cole or no?
No, I think it's going to be. I think they, like I said, I think they wrote himself into a corner, and I think it's going to be like 3 bad guys. It's probably going to be like they have like a little summit. It's probably like Alice Cole, Britt Baker, a little Wardlow, and probably like Jungle Boy. I'm telling you, dude. Like it's not going to be one person. I don't think. I think it's going to be. If it's only Jungle Boy, it's gonna see. If it's only one person, it's either not going to make sense, or it's going to be a letdown.
You know what they should do? They should just make it Christian Cage out of nowhere. And because at this point, that'll be the backstory as well. Everything was happening with Edge, and he was doing all the stuff. He was just messing with MJF. But in my head, that's the only one that can be like a big surprise. And
who
is Christian?
Oh, yeah, but it makes no sense. But dude,
it makes
that's
no
what
sense,
I'm saying. Though
none of it makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's going to be someone out of left field because I think they think that they're going to have to like.
You think they're going to Rikishi this situation? I did it for The Rock. Remember that? That's what they should bring out, Rikishi.
Because they wrote himself into a corner. And then they like didn't know what to do, and then they like, oh yeah, hey, you did it. Like I remember,
I did it for Adam Cole.
Dude, did anyone care when like Rikishi was the bad guy? It like made no sense. Like
no, everybody was like, ah.
Because a month earlier he's like dancing with the little hip hop.
Yeah, with Scotty 2 Hotty, who passed away. Did Scotty die?
Nope, he's alive. Brian Christopher passed away. Scotty 2 Hotty, I believe, is a producer for either AEW or for WWE. I think it's
he left WWE.
Yeah, I think so.
Hold on one sec. SpaceX is about 45 minutes, and they've been doing rockets all day, and
oh, nice.
Sometimes it shakes the friggin' cars and their alarms go off. That's what I kept hearing in the background.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
SpaceX. All right. Let me see. Do I have any last thoughts about Dynamite before we move on? I like the Swerve. Oh yeah, I was kind of surprised that they had Jay White beat Moxley.
Which, by the way, was that always an option that they were going to do? Like they could do a 3-man match?
No, they wrote themselves into a corner, which was what we've been talking about.
I think they planned it, but it's still kind of
probably. But well, dude, like there's strict rules. Like, oh, you guys want sport-based wrestling? Well, fucking buckle up. And then it's like, do you remember when they had when they were explaining how serious the count-out rules were? Yeah. As they've been outside for way more than 30 seconds. And it's like, wait, what? And then this time again, they were trying to make excuses for him, the commentary guys, and they were like, I really think it's cool that these referees are letting these guys go in this tournament. It's like, no, dude, that's the whole point of the rules, is so you can have outs for people.
By the way, did they do this for the first time? Because I don't think I saw it before. When Swerve came out, did all of them come out with him and then kind of leave, or did he come out by himself the last few times before
Oh,
this
you know,
week?
I don't know, dude.
I think that was the first time, and I liked it.
Yeah, it was
because
cool.
it showed they were like serious, and they were getting the boy.
Yeah, you're right. I think they've done that for some people, but it is a cool look when all the guys come out, like get them, and they all do the fist bump.
Yeah,
like
because Donna was there, and he's doing this, and all the Tongaloa, and
yeah. Before you go to war, dude, you got to have that like elbow dance. You got to have the and I swerve when I drive. Dude, I used to hum that song, and my girlfriend would be like, "What are you humming?" And I'm like, "And I swerve when I drive." And I don't like hip hop, but that song is that bad? Is that prove how white I am? That my favorite hip hop song is "I Swerve When I Drive" by Swerve Strickland. It is. It's my favorite hip hop song.
You know what? Right now, yeah, I think it's one of the better songs out there.
It goes Swerve, and then it goes 50 Cent in the club, and then it goes Forgot About Dre. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's a huge window of time in between.
It's it. I go back to Tupac. I was listening to How Do You Want It the other day. The best part is so dated now. Is like he was like, Bill Clinton, Mr. Bob Dole, you're too old to understand the way the gangs roll. It's like, yeah, they are too old. So I gotta hit you with the hot tracks.
Oh yeah, it's really funny. It doesn't really hold up. It doesn't hold up.
No, it's sadly just a little bit too dated, but what are you gonna do?
Also, last thought on Dynamite, hot take. When did Wardlow get so goddamn nasally, dude? MJF, I'm gonna grab you, and you hurt my mother, you hurt my family, dude. He's so nasally. I didn't notice it until this time, and I was like, it sounds like he has like a sinus infection, and I was more worried about his health than anything.
I didn't hear. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I see Wardlow, and I'm like, they missed their moment with Wardlow. I'm over that. I don't care.
Yeah, because now he's like, I love how they have these like vignettes where he's all, hey MJF, but dude, it's like, but we already you already had that chance already, and also, bro, MJF is literally in 4 different feuds right now. Yeah, so take your sinus infection ass out of here.
And it makes things weird because MJF was the heel, now he's like the baby face. He really is. And Wardlow's kind of gonna be the heel. He's got to be the heel.
I mean, he's like I said, he's a heel because people are tired of cheering because they don't want to get their hearts broken. So that's the only reason why you boo that guy, is because you're like, I can't go through it again, dude. I can't. It's like Oakland Raiders. You can't do it, dude.
I think they should put him in the stable with Jake the Snake Roberts at this point.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
The murder.
And just have that old man just like goddamn whisper his promos. Dude, you can whisper your promos when you had an option to talk louder. Not when that's all you can do.
Here's another thing to bring up. Again, I was trying to be positive. I swear to God, I was trying to be positive today.
Well, that goddamn train is gone.
I just barely realized that Sting has his last match at Revolution. I kind of thought it was the last pay-per-view for a second. I got mixed up though, but
no, they're gonna drag this shit out for 3 more months, dude.
What's they haven't given you any? What are they doing with him? Who's he gonna wrestle?
Flair? So, well, let me ask you, dude. Like, what would you do? Would you just have him send him home with a nice, happy tag team with Darby? Would you have him put Darby over? Would you have him put someone else over?
I would have had him not announce that he's having one more match till at World's End. That should have been the thing. The announcement should have been at World's End, and then we've had an extra 4 weeks, 5 weeks of having to like, oh, he's like, I'm having my last match. You know what it reminds me of, and it's just like, but at least it made more sense, was the stupid Rock Cena feud where they were gonna have the rematch a year later.
Oh yeah, like the day after WrestleMania, they're like, "Don't worry, you know how that match bombed last night? Stay tuned, everybody.
But they didn't focus on it for so long. And here's this one. They're like, oh, it's happening. Sting's gonna have his final match. And it's all for Shivani just to go, it's Sting.
Which like 10 people know what that is, and the rest of people don't give a shit, dude. If you listen to like
By the way,
Conrad's podcast, what's up?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say,
Finish
if
your thought.
you don't listen to Conrad's podcast, then you don't really know like the significance between. I mean, I don't really. Yeah, I never thought it was like, oh man, Tony Schiavone has to be the dude who yells Sting. Like it didn't do that for me.
You know, it's sadly this stuff goes down like TNA did. Because in my head, and I know this is going to sound really weird, you had him end with WCW, then he came back and did a short run with WWE, and they
Dude,
have
he almost got murdered.
But you know what? To be honest,
he almost got murdered.
But if you put that down, by the way, and I don't think it was Seth Rollins' fault.
No, that was so sad, dude.
It was sad. But he went out, and I know it wasn't ideal, and they were supposed to have other matches, but he went out there and had a world title match with Seth Rollins. And did it end ideally? No, but that should be his last match. You could say, oh, his last match was for the WWE Championship against Seth Rollins. Way more significant. Name me a match that he's had off top of your head. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. Name me a match that he's had in AEW. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Street fight.
Against who? 7,
8. Him and Darby versus Starks and Cage in that cinematic. I think they've all been like cinematic, right? Or they've all been 6-man tags.
They've all been tag matches.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he can go a whole. I don't, dude.
It took you nearly all the 10 seconds. It took you 7 seconds to remember that match, to pull that out of the dredges. This hasn't been an iconic run. Even with TNA, I can remember he had the Joker thing. I remember he had the Jeff Hardy thing, which is a bad thing for different reasons. I remember the fact that he had that match where he came back and tried to be old school Sting, but it just wasn't happening. He had a couple matches with Kurt Angle that were pretty decent. But unfortunately, the Sting that we all want to see and wanted to see was in that TNA run. And it's a little lackluster because it just wasn't the right venue for him. And the irony is you had Ric Flair there too. You had all these crazy people back there. At least you had Kurt Angle, who is still dealing with his drug issues, but still performing at a high level. But it just doesn't feel like big enough for him. And nothing with AEW has felt big enough for him either. It's gonna come.
What else do we got, dude?
Look, what's funny is we don't talk about Raw because Raw's just like going right now.
It's 3 hours, dude. That's why.
But it's just going. Things are good. I thought it was a solid thing. I love the R-Truth man has been hilarious. Where he thinks he's in the Judgment Day. I think it's a hilarious angle.
Yeah, I didn't really know what was happening, but I saw the highlights of that match with R-Truth versus Big Head.
He wanted to kick out JD McDonough. Damian Priest is mad, is annoyed and try to beat him up, but he still came back because he said it was his gang initiation because they beat him up. He took that as they jumped him in.
So that's really funny, dude.
And yeah, it's funny. It's great, and he's really funny. The fact that
that's just a really funny joke. Is like you get beat up and you're like, oh, I'm a part of the gang now.
Yeah, and then he shows up with the shirt that has all their names on it, and on the bottom it's he has tape that says "and R-Truth" because he's like, I'm part of Judgment Day, and they're it's silly. It's great. They had a great match with the Creed brothers, by the way.
Yeah, those are two dudes that I wish were. I think I said that before. I wish they were like off TV, and then they just like if this was the old school days, you wouldn't see them for like another 3 years, and then all of a sudden they come out, and all the greenness will be wiped off, and they would just murder. But unfortunately, we live at a time now where we have to watch people practice.
My argument is they're the new Steiner brothers.
Oh, no. I'm not saying anything bad about them, dude. I'm just saying this is way early in the run. And like normally we wouldn't have to watch them get their footing on live TV. You kind of wait till
this is the negative of the era is that we don't get the like the palate cleanser of them and they'll get like reintroduced to them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, we're just
Instead
watching them like practice live, dude. We're watching them like learn how to do the craft.
well, that's
I
gonna
mean,
end.
dude, those
That's
guys
gonna
are
end
the
soon because I'm not gonna be watching the CW to see what's going on.
yeah. But that finisher that the Creed brothers do is pretty impressive. That Doomsday, and then he just jumps off and bops his ass on his face, and then when he lands, and then it's like two moves. It's him barely hitting his ass on the guy's face, and then he's like trying not to land on the dude with his ass.
Yeah,
And it's a crazy move. It's like it's kind of. I mean, I guess it must be safe, or else they wouldn't.
no,
else they wouldn't do it.
it
But
looks cool in slow mo. Everything about it looks cool.
oh yeah, no, because he's literally not trying to land on him, dude. At the end, he's like, it could go yeah, because you're gonna land a lot worse on that one.
Because you see him making contact and scrunched up like a ball. You see them going down, and then you see them just like he's trying not to land, but he does land.
Yeah, he's trying to not land with his hip on the dude's face. Yeah, it's a great move. I mean, I like those dudes a lot. I think they're going to be really, really good. But it's just kind of like they're not ready yet.
Yeah. Well,
What's his?
We'll see.
Wait, are they actually brothers? They aren't, right? Oh, they are.
No, they are brothers. They're not. Their real names aren't Creed, but neither are the Steiner brothers. The Rex Steiners.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're like, hey, Rex is too much. Rex Steiners.
What else happened on?
And too Germish.
Oh, dude, that's what I was gonna say. Since we're on NXT, just like super quick, dude. So the ending of NXT was Dragunov had a match with Ridge Holland, and then he got injured, and they did like an injury angle. But I think it's only like he's not hurt; it's just an angle. But dude, Dragunov is so good at selling. That audience was fucking real. Excuse me, pardon my French. It was tense, but I already heard he was okay, so I didn't but he's so good at selling, he almost need to go back and do like a curtain call and let everyone know that he was fine. Like it was that good, and that I kind of felt bad for everyone in the audience because they didn't know until they got home that it was just a work, because he looked like he broke his dude. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
It was like he had the neck, and he had the hand out like his strong arm, and it was like seizing, kind of like that guy the other day on the UFC that got knocked out.
He's really good at making those the seizure type of.
He's a bestseller, man. He's gonna be. I'm telling you, it's weird, but Dragunov and Walter could definitely do like part 3 at like WrestleMania on night 1 or whatever, and people they'll bring the house down.
That could happen because nobody knows who Gunther Walter.
Could you imagine that level of violence in front of 70,000 people, especially people who don't like. Dude, that match is like, you gotta be in the right mood for that shit, dude. Like, dude, those two Walter and Dragunov matches, like that's like. I
want to see it.
What have you seen?
I want to see it. I want to see it again because I know I think we're due for that match again. I think you're right about it, but there's a talk. What was his name? Sam, not Sam. What's his name? What's his last name? You know what I'm talking about. He's Jim Norton and Sam have a show together.
Sam Roberts.
Sam Roberts, that's the guy. He had a whole theory that there was like a build off. There's a build up so that Gunther can face Roman Reigns at the Bash in Berlin. Like, what if he keeps that belt all the way to main event?
Well,
that fight out there in Germany.
See, I would say, I think that would be a waste, because he's not going to win. He's not going to win. So you're blowing that. You're like,
I think they need to. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they need to do something like Rocky style, where he's the heel. It's the main event. They can end that bout with because he's Austrian. He's not German, but same difference. You have him over there. He's the main event, and whoever you put against him is like the underdog.
Yeah.
And they do the whole thing where they should just go full on, just steal it from Rocky, where he shows up and the banners go up of Gunther, like holding the belt, like he's of a John,
Yeah,
And,
but I mean, I think
and
if they do that match, you got to put Walter over, and it's got to be at like WrestleMania. So if they do it
who's
in Germany, it's going to be like, could you imagine if they end his goddamn winning streak by losing to Roman Reigns from like? It's also going to be one of those kind of whack ass matches where they just like spam their finishing moves over and over again.
yeah.
I don't want to see. I want to see Walter and like, well, he's special, dude. He's special. He really is. It's really hard to explain, but he's one of the dudes that like. And I saw this. I read this interview with him, or I watched this interview with him, and he's super funny, dude. He's funny, and like he was telling the whole story about how he lost the weight, why he did it. It was a really cool. Like I don't know. I like him a lot more now than I did before I watched the interview. So I'm like, yeah, he can't because he's gonna have to lose if he goes to Berlin. He's gonna, you know, unless they have him go for like one of the like whatever belt Seth Rollins had, or maybe CM Punk versus Walter. Dude, CM Punk he'll job out to Walter in Berlin.
That's one I want to see. I want to go to the end. I want it to be like Rocky IV. Angela Merkel's there for some reason. I don't know why, but I was
and it was like
looking
the
up,
dancing robot. Dun, 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 dun.
I was looking up. I'm like the Chancellor of Germany, and because it's not Angela Merkel anymore, and his name is Frank Walter Steinmeier, and I'm like, but
Of
I
course it
just
is.
I'd rather have Angela Merkel there. I think it'd be funnier. My motto is basically the song "Just Hold On Loosely."
Is that
Yeah, this
from Wilson Phillips? Is,
no what
is
oh
that the
that's
B
what that's
side to Hold On for
that's
One More Day?
that's Hold On for One More Day.
I know that there is pain, but you gotta hold on for one more day. You gotta break free, break from the chain.
No, I'm talking about 38 Special. Just hold on loosely.
Oh
Don't let
yeah. Oh,
go.
okay. All right. I didn't know that was them, dude.
Yeah. I just like hard Southern rock. That's what I want to live.
Well, the only song I know by them really is their power ballad. I mean, I know that song, of course, the one you just said, "Hang On Loosely," but the power ballad, that whole second chant song,
Yeah.
it's a classic song about a dude who screws up real bad, and the whole song is him groveling about he won't cheat anymore. And in real life, I don't think it ever goes as well as it does in the song.
That's a 38 Special song?
Yep, this heart needs a second chance.
Yeah.
Don't take it. Oh, don't say it's over. I just can't say. Wait, please forgive me. I was wrong and I regret it. Yeah. I'm gonna listen to it later.
38 Special had some hits. They had some jams, man.
Yeah, they're not bad,
Listen,
dude.
Caught Up on You, Rocking Into the Night, You Keep Running Away, Teacher, Teacher. This heart needs a second chance. That's what you're talking about.
Yep.
They had like two eras too, by the way. And I love 38 Special.
Anything else you want to add on Raw, dude?
That they
Before
need the
we,
musical stylings of a 38 Special.
you're all we need is like who's gonna okay. If someone got to walk out to a 38 special song, who would you want to do it and what song? Like who do you want to who do you want to walk out to hang on loosely on the Raw roster?
Loosely. Hold on loosely.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna.
This is a real good. We're catching a second wind here. This is it. Hold on.
Vic is
loosely.
speechless.
Oh.
Who would walk out to hang on loosely?
Hold on loosely. For
Hold
the
on
love of
loosely.
God, hang on loosely. I don't know why, but it's not hang on loosely. Hold on loosely. That's a
Nia Jax?
No, it's got to be dude.
I'm just thinking outside the box.
I think the Miz is holding on loosely right now.
Oh yeah. Well, hang on loosely is like a guy who used to be a belt holder and now he's going through a hard time.
I think CM Punk is going through second chance.
Dude, he walks out to
this heart needs a second chance.
Could you imagine that was someone's walkout song? You just be like, it's like the same thing that when like Fedor walks out with his like Russian power ballad and the audience is all pumped up, and then when he starts walking out, it's like, wait, what?
We should just weekly find music from the late 70s, early 80s that we feel would be suitable in describing various wrestlers.
So you have the Miz walking out to hang on loosely. I would say
You're
Dolph
doing that to
Ziggler.
annoy me now, and it's
Hang
working.
on. Okay, wait. Is it hold on loosely? Okay, hold on
Hold
loosely.
on loosely. I'm like, what is he doing?
I would say Dolph Ziggler, but he's not with him anymore.
You know what
That
song
he'd
you're
be good. He'd be good.
You know what song you're thinking of is "Hang On, Help Is on the Way." Hey, that's a Little River Band. Hang on, I think a Little River Band. Help is on the way.
Oh yeah.
I'll be there as fast as I can. I think that's it.
Anything else on Raw, dude? Anything
No,
else?
look, I think we're good with Raw. I think Raw was a solid show. The only thing that's not really hitting me 100% is Shinsuke and Cody, but I think they're just
It's
doing
because
filler for the Rumble.
they made yeah, no, it is filler, but they like made him. I mean, dude, they killed. We're like talking about how they've killed people, and I mean, they killed Shinsei Nakamura like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah,
I mean,
but he'll get his chance again. Look,
well, I mean, he'll have a pretty good match with Cody.
He's our hang on, help is on the way wrestler of the week.
Dude, he is the guy that needs to wear the black bandana, dude. Shinsei. I feel like he always wears a black bandana, and like maybe for the Cody match he won't have it.
Maybe he won't.
He always strikes me as like,
is Shinsuke Nakamura the John Cusack of wrestling?
What a good clickbait, dude. That was perfect. We probably get like at least 20 clicks.
That's right. Tinkle, I think we should wrap it up, but I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh my God, Vic. Merry Christmas to you. And I hope you enjoy that black bandana that's going to come to you the day after Christmas because Amazon lied.
Yeah. Stupid Amazon, those liars. I'm going to enjoy that. We're going to rock the black bandanas. We're going to get the black hats.
You're going to have it on. It's going to the show's going to start and the lights are going to come on and they're going to see you in the black bandana. They're like, God damn it. Vic is phoning this one in today. He's phoning it in.
Well, you have a great one. We're going to catch up with everybody in the new year.